What's up? Good morning, my YouTube family members. What's going on? So today right here, this little topic right here, we gonna call it snake talk. And as I talking as I was talking in a live stream, I said something hit me, and I had to go ahead and talk about it while the thought was still fresh in my head. And like, if you can, in the comments below, if you're not a reptile a lover or a person that's too crazy about reptiles, like, if you could just tell me what it is, know what I mean, that you don't really care for reptiles, or if you are a person that love reptiles, what about reptiles that makes you love them the most? So with that said, like with reptiles, for me, from what I see myself, it's more like um it was like a embedded fear, that was placed in us, you know, as a kid, and I'm not gonna say us. I'm gonna say myself, and with that right there, it was like that growing up, in the household we went to, and you heard the stories about like Adam and Eve and whatsoever, and story from the Bible, Adam and Eve, and and the story about how that all came to play out. So from that right there, it was like just put that the serpent was the devil or whatsoever. And and growing up, and you hear this, you hear this a lot. So as a kid, when you hear something, uh, uh, a lot, it sticks to you. Like, it's like, wow, like, is it any truth in this right here? And if it's any truth, I'm gonna be afraid of it. So it's like, from one point of view, now I mean, everything in life, certain things you can't go without. Now I mean, and just imagine, not having snakes in the out in the world. Now, one, the rodent population would probably not probably would be real high, and the rodent population, the wild rats, especially if you out there in the city, like, they carry so many different bacteria, diseases, and everything that the reptiles help keeps under control. And with so many rats and rodents and stuff like that, they only have one place to go, because when they start growing too big, they only got one place to go, and that's into your household. And when they get into your household, uh they invite themselves into your food. They may even invite themselves into your bed, your clothes, and things like that. What you don't want. So that's one of the definitely biggest things, population control, that the snakes definitely offer and brings to us, to myself rather. That's what we see, because I'm not mistaken. Was it the Black Plague, if I'm not mistaken, that the mice carried on to the people? I could be mistaken. I definitely look it up before I post this video. So I said I would look it up. The Black Plague took place from 1348 to 1351, but started much earlier. The Black Plague began its long, sweeping journey through Europe in 1348. Some reports says it's actually in October of 1347. This was not, however, the true beginning of the epic. The plague actually began in the Himalaya mountains of southern Asia in the 1200s. It made its way to Europe on trade and cargo ships, traveling on the backs of rats. Stowed away on the ship. When the ship made land, so did the rats. And the infestation began to spread through rats. Next. So that's one thing that they say about the Black Plague, which, you know, say that was brought on by the rodents. So let me see if I could find something else. So this is another part of it. The plague was spread by the fleas, but not the rats. So what it says was, we often hear the plague was spread due to the unhygienic conditions of surplus of rats in Europe. While it is true that the living conditions in Europe at the time was not ideal, this was not the real reason for the spread of the disease. The rats were merely carriers for the bacteria that caused the infection. A bacteria in the fleas that were hitching a ride in the rats. So, hold on. The fleas could actually spread the bacteria on their own without even involving the poor rats. So what they saying is that the rats themselves wasn't the carriers, but the fleas that was riding on the rats is what brought the disease. Well, no matter how you look at it, without the reptiles keeping the rats under pest control, you know, that's one of the big things about having.
You know, this video is not
snakes.
to convince anybody that, you know, they should go out and go buy a snake.
Like, that's not what the video. That's not what I'm talking about. No, I just wanted to just, you know, just put something to show that, you know, that they actually, you know, like, they definitely helps out and with the population control and things like that.
You know, again, everything, we all got a part to play,
and we all got a role to play in this world. And you know, that's one of the big things, you know, with having the snakes. And I'm sure it's a whole lot more facts that we could even bring up even more, you know, with the snakes and things like that. And again, you know, them being misunderstood and having a bad reputation. And the last thing I'm gonna say this for here, right? From hearing stories of a person, not saying of a person, and you hear so many bad things about a person. Now, this person you have never, ever met in your life. You never met the person. You never shook the person's hand. The person never stood in your presence. But again, from a person that you look up to the most, a person that you may admire, or a person that been around you your whole life, dislike something about this particular person, thing, place, or whatever, and without you even knowing, you dislike something that you never ever met. Then as you get older and you start to explore and learn things on your own, that this thing that you didn't like, or this person that you didn't like, or this place that you didn't like, or food that you may not even like, as you got older and you tried it, you said to yourself, dang, this ain't that bad. That's pretty much how I felt about a lot of things in life. You know, fixing my own opinion on things. Can't another person think for me. I'll go out and learn for myself. Sometimes the learning experience may not go the way you plan, and sometimes, you know, it may go the way you plan. But, you know, for the most part, I appreciate y'all for watching if y'all got this far. Much love and much respect. and I'll come on to you with some more facts. Everybody be cool, Madman Serpent. Shout out to Team Serpents before I go. And again, Ball Python Love, Moto Danger Zone, Miss K&A Reptiles, Maria Dobson, the Dobson's Explicit Channel, Jackie Jackson, J Snakes Garden of Eden Reptiles. Shout out to Team Serpents. Much love and much respect. Everybody be cool. Peace.